right, let's get to it. Listen. Make sure my audio is good. I'm going to check on that. Listen, feminism has a framework. The manosphere has talking points. Today, we're going to get into why that matters. So this is Feminism and Intersectionality Explained. And we're going to use the explanations of Kimberlé Crenshaw herself to help us to understand what is intersectionality, which is a phrase that she coined herself, all right? Salute to everybody. I want y'all to drop likes. I want you to subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bells on. Get that on go. And we're going to get our minds on go. So we're going to play a little music, rock out. And we're going to get into a breakdown of this, all right? So salute to everybody.
Let me do me, let me roam around, and she ain't worried about all the girls around, cause she so used to being queen, she let them wear the crown. She got my back, she hold it down, right by my side, never slow me down, always pick me up whenever they throw me down. Been through the lies, got her crying now, she still believe me, and I'm lying now. She be inside, she ain't hoeing round, and she ain't got a bad name all through the town. Every day I love you more, I had to tell you now, and then I'll prove it to you, just let me show you how. Real ones, my real one. If you ever had a real one, hands up if you a real one. This one goes out to my real ones, my real ones. Real ones, my real one. If you ever had a real one, hands up if you a real one. This one goes out to my real ones, my real ones. She been through her family hating, the women calling, and she still waiting, thinking of marriage, but she don't want to chase it. She ready when you ready, a true test of her patience. Love that you show can't replace it, my Trinity in this matrix. You just a regular, nothing about you is basic. I be out late, plus the missed calls. You ain't eat right and can't sleep at all. The scary thing is, you won't beef at all. You got this feeling in your stomach, you can't keep it off. I guess it's women's intuition. I know it's late night and I've been missing, but listen, baby, I'ma make an honest woman out you. I'ma get that wedding ring, I'ma show you better things. No talk, just show, no let 'em in. We got haters from the door, you can let 'em in. My sweetheart, like I gave you my letterman. Hope you get what this letter meant. You a real one.
What's love got to do with it, baby? What's love got to do with it, baby? If I was your girl, it's never what's my man. If I was your girl, if you were my man, if you'll give you all, do with it. What's love got to do with it, baby? What's love got to do with it, baby? If I was your girl, and you were my man, I'll give you all, man. If you'll give me all of you, if I was your girl.
Salute. Hopefully everybody hearing me clearly. We rocking out. A couple of people came into the stream. Salute to them. On the pass, Bobby, but getting to a breakdown real quick of intersectionality and exactly what it is. All right. Kimberlé Crenshaw on intersectionality. Let me just check my audios because sometimes I've been streaming too many years, man. Too many years, I tell you. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, we good. All right, Kimberlé Crenshaw, and I'm gonna play a video from Kimberlé Crenshaw herself as well. I just want to break it down. Let's just read a little bit just to see exactly what's going on, right? And see who she is as well, right? Kimberlé Crenshaw on intersectionality more than 2 decades later. 28 years ago, Kimberlé Crenshaw coined the term intersectionality in a paper as a way to help explain the oppression of African American women. Crenshaw's then somewhat academic term is now at the forefront of national conversations about racial justice, identity politics, and policing, and over the years has helped shape the legal discussions. A leading thinker and scholar in the field of critical race theory, Crenshaw, a professor at Columbia Law School, directs the Center for Intersectionality and Social Policy Studies, and is the co-founder of the African American Policy Forum, a think tank both based on campus. Okay, so I want to know exactly. You originally coined the term intersectionality to describe bias and violence against Black women, but it's become more widely used for LGBTQ issues, among others. Is that a misunderstanding of intersectionality? It's a good question. Crenshaw says intersectionality is a lens through which you can see where power comes and collides, where it interlocks and hold up, let me fix this too. Let me maximize this on the screen. Sorry, y'all. Let me maximize that on the screen. And let me maximize me on the screen. All right, cool. Put myself up there. I'll stay right there. Let's go. All right. Where we at? Because we also going to be going into this woman right here as well. And the importance that she played and the role that she played. All right. So we're going to go into a little breakdown of this woman as well. So salute to y'all. Salute to y'all. All right. Cool. Where are we at now? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, here. Where it interlocks and intersects. It is not simply that there's a race problem here, a gender problem here, and a class or LGBTQ problem here. Many times that framework erases what happens to people who are subject to all of these things. Now, some people look to intersectionality as the grand theory of everything, but that's not my intention. If someone is trying to think about how to explain to my courts why they should not dismiss a case made by Black women just because the employer did hire Blacks who were men and women who were white, well, that's what the tool was designed to do. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, it's not like you have to use this concept. Now, the other issue is that intersectionality can get used as a blanket term to mean, well, it's complicated. Sometimes it's complicated is an excuse not to do anything. At the AAPF and the Center for Intersectionality and Social Policy Studies, we want to move beyond that idea. We try to take ideas and make them into hands-on tools that advocate and communities can use. Part of it is public education. We use art and other projects to show how people are experiencing intersectional harms, such as mothers of women unalived by police or young girls expelled from school. We work directly with advocates and communities to develop ways that they can better see the problems and better intervene in advocacy. Okay, you've said there is an intersectional erasure in the Trump era. Can you explain this? Okay, let's see what that's. What's most problematic about the contemporary conversation is the complete irrelevance of women of color. People talk about how constituencies, specifically working class men, saw a terrible deterioration of their prospects and they were angry and wanted to vote for someone not part of the establishment. If you look at women of color, especially Black and Latinas, their economic well-being has been most impacted and been industrialized, being deindustrialized, and by the defunding of the public sector. So if any group had a reason to respond to scapegoat politics, you would think it might be those workers who were subject to both radicalized downward pressures and gender downward pressures, yet they were least likely to vote for someone not of the establishment. That's crazy though. Why aren't we talking about that? Why is the intersection of maleness and whiteness driving our analysts and not the intersection of being a woman and a person of color? What is going on that these women of color did not respond to the xenophobia and the racism? What did they have that made them say we're better than this and we want more for our country? It's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. Let's go into a breakdown though. Let's see what she got to say, because I do want to get into Emma DeGraff and Reed. I do want to get a little bit into her.
So intersectionality actually came out of my effort to think about how to create a word picture so that people could understand what happens when the kind of inequality that they're prepared to deal with overlaps or has an encounter with a kind of inequality that they're not committed to, haven't even thought about, don't experience themselves, and don't necessarily feel called upon to be present in that. Intersectionality is also a frame. It's a frame that gives us a greater sense of how certain social problems come about, and importantly, what needs to be rethought in terms of the conventional interventions that we create for those inequalities when those interventions come out of narrow or non-intersectional frames. I came across a case that featured a woman named Emma DeGraff and Reed. She was actually representing an entire group of Black women who were seeking better employment opportunities at an auto manufacturing plant in the Midwest. She was a wife, she was a mom, she was working class. She was really hoping to advance her family's well-being by seeking a different kind of job than the ones that typically were set aside for a woman like her. A job as a domestic worker or a job as a janitorial engineer. These were the kinds of jobs that were underpaid and that were usually without benefits. They weren't the kind of job that would allow you to actually entertain middle-class aspirations. So she was trying to get one of those better manufacturing jobs. So she applied for the job, and like other Black women, she was denied. After her denial, she sued the employer, claiming race and gender discrimination. Now, the judge that heard Emma's case dismissed her suit. And he dismissed her suit because the employer in question had, in fact, hired African Americans, and the employer had, in fact, hired women. From the court's vantage point, the fact that they'd hired African Americans and had hired women meant that they did not engage in race discrimination and they didn't engage in gender discrimination. Now, the fact that the African Americans they hired were not women and the women that they hired were not African Americans didn't defeat the argument that these women were unable to prove discrimination because the employer had hired Blacks and had hired women. So from the court's vantage point, the problem was that for Emma to be able to say I was discriminated against, she had to say I was discriminated against as a Black person who's a woman. I was discriminated against as a woman who's a Black person. That's what she would have had to say. And the court thought that the law didn't allow her to combine these two causes of action into one. But the fact that no judge